Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Larry. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. Today's video is about how I highlight and contour. At long last, this video is on my channel. This video has been requested. It has been requested by many people on my Facebook, Instagram, as well as on YouTube. So today I'm here with the video. I hope it's data enough for you guys because I tried my best to explain. The reason why the video was actually taking long was I wanted to do a talk through in the video to explain to you as I'm doing whatever I'm doing. But my background was, I was having noise in my background, so I have to film late at night. And as I'm speaking now, my fan is also blowing some wind that you guys will be hearing. So you guys should please forgive me. Concentrate on the tutorial and don't mind the background noise. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. So without wasting much of your time, let's get the video rolling.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
I know I'm not good when it comes to talk through videos. I'll just be everywhere, but let's just manage it as it is. So I'll just go ahead and do what we are here for, that is to highlight and contour. I did all this off camera, but I filmed the brow tutorial. I'll be posting it as a different video. To start off, to highlight, I'm using the From Cosmetics concealer in the shade dark, and I'll be using the AOA Wonder Cover concealer in the shade Cool Tan. I'll start off with the From Cosmetics. So what I do is I go underneath my eye, if that makes sense, just like I'm doing, and I make sure I extend it a little bit on my nose, here. So I'm doing the same to the other side as well. Go ahead and highlight my forehead. Just like this, and I'll go ahead and highlight the bridge of my nose. When highlighting the bridge of my nose, I don't want it to seem bigger, but you can actually, okay, let's go ahead and do that. I'll explain later on. And I'll go ahead again and apply some of the concealer on my chin, just like this. As you can see, this concealer is actually like one shade lighter than my skin tone, so I'll be going in with this Wonder Cover concealer, which is way lighter than my skin tone. That's why I'm mixing the two. And with this, I'm not applying it as I apply this one. I'm just using a little bit in the inner corner of my eye, just like this, a little bit, because it's also creamy. And be careful when you are dealing with matte, when you are using a matte concealer, you have to do it in patches, if that makes sense. But for the benefit of this video, I'm actually trying to do it, like this, just outline it like this, so that you guys will understand what I mean. So to blend that, I'm using my beauty blender, and I'll make sure I will use the tip of it like this, because I don't want the concealer to come all the way here, so I'll manage to blend it here. What I do is I start off by blending the outer side of it like this, and then I'll go in. I'll just be going in a little by little, if that makes sense. You see. So now with the lighter shade I applied, I'll be dragging it a little, not all the way out, but I'll make sure it will be right under my eye. Please, when it comes to blending, don't be afraid to blend. Just keep on blending until you see it seamlessly blend. So I'll go ahead and blend this side as well. With the same technique I blended the outer side before going in. So I'll go ahead and blend with my forehead too. I will not be extending it all the way to my hairlines. I'll make sure it stays in between where the concealer is. So going ahead here to blend this, and I'll make sure it stays right where the concealer is. As I was saying, when you're using a matte foundation or matte concealer, when you're using a matte concealer and you have this, something like this, you can just go ahead and blend it a little bit to prevent it from drying. After that, then you go back and blend it again, if that makes sense. So, and I'll be extending the little product left on my beauty blender to I'll be applying that onto my smile lines. So with my nose highlight, I'll pinch my beauty blender like this and blend that. I love doing my highlighting first before doing my contouring, because I want my nose contouring to be, I want my nose contouring to be precise. So when I contour before highlighting, I found it way difficult to get that sharpness I want on the bridge of my nose. So I prefer to do my highlighting before I do contouring. To prevent all these harsh lines you see here, this is demarcation, if that makes sense, I'll be using my foundation brush without any product on it to blend that. Just like I'm doing. We are done with highlighting. To contour, I'll be using the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation in the shade Ebony. And with that too, I love to go in, as you guys heard the name, it's a matte foundation and it dries very quickly. It dries quickly, so sometimes I just off my fan before applying it, or after blending everything, then I on my fan back. But I will not do that today. What I do is I mark like this on my forehead. And please don't, if you are using the same product, don't use a lot of products. Use a little product, if that makes sense. So when I get to my cheekbones, all I do is I do the fish face. I remember I did the video, I said catfish. I will do a fish face. Am I still on it? Something like this. Then when you feel like this, you feel the bone in between your cheeks. So apply it over there. You see? So doing the same here. As I said, the foundation is a matte foundation, so it dries out quickly. I'll go ahead and use my beauty blender to blend this out before I'll go in and contour my nose. So let's go ahead and blend this out. And what I do is I blend it into my hairlines. And when I get to my cheekbone, I make sure I squeeze the beauty blender, if that makes sense. I'll just pinch the beauty blender like this. And when it comes to my contouring, sorry guys, when it comes to my contouring, I don't blend it downwards. I blend it upwards like this. So to further blend this, you can still see that harsh lines is over there again. I'm going back with my foundation brush to blend that out as well. So I always have my foundation brush because it kind of feels you have a little or no product in the foundation brush, so that does the magic. Can you guys see that? So can you see it now? Don't worry, I know it's kind of all over the place. Seems all over the place. Don't worry, we'll do that. We'll correct that when we are applying our powder. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and contour my nose. So I'm using this small, my X concealer brush. This how my angle brush, this how it looks. I always start where my brow starts. So let's go ahead. It's not by force for you to just drag it like this. You can actually make a pinch. You can pinch your concealer or whatever product you are using a little to just sketch it. When you're okay with it, then you just draw it together, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and do that. Just like so. I'll go ahead and do the other side as well. It's looking a little bit, it's looking wider, which I don't like. I don't like my nose contouring to be looking wider. So I will just go ahead and be closing it. I'll be closing it as we go. So you guys should just be watching me as I do it. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to extend the product at the top part of it, of my nose, and I'll be dragging it downwards to closer to the first one I did, if that makes sense. If you know if you know you can't blend, you have to use a product that is lighter. You don't have to go in with a very darker product if you are contouring. If you know you can't blend, or if you want your blending to be easier, you have to use something that is way I think too light, too darker, or one shade darker than your skin tone, if that makes sense. Just trying to close the dot I did. So to make it look more professional, you have to drag it to your brows, if that makes sense, like I did. To blend my nose contour, I'll be using this Zoria large shader brush. This is how it looks. I mostly use my foundation brush, my flat foundation brush, but today, for the benefit of this video, I'll be using this particular brush. And I'll start off by brushing it into my hair and my brows, then coming down like this. see. Just don't be afraid of blending. Blend, guys, blend. So some people like to close their nose contouring, which I sometimes do, sometimes too I don't do. So for the benefit of this video, let's close that out. So at the last end of my nose, I mean the tip of my nose, I'll be closing it like this. So what I'll be doing now is just be dragging the foundation downwards like this. This thing is still looking hashy, so I'll be going back with my beauty blender and I'll pinch it as I did earlier on, and let's go ahead and set this thing out. To set the places where I highlighted, at first I used to go in with I have two products. I mean, from my cosmetics loose powder in the shade light sand. I have light sand, which is the lighter one. Let's see, it's lighter like this, but today I'm not using the lighter. In my other video I used only the bronze sand, and I love how my look turned out. So today, for the benefit of this video, I'm not using the light sand. I'll be using the bronze sand, which is like this. So let's go ahead and use that to set places where we highlighted. Before I put any product, I make sure I go back to blend places where I put my concealer before I apply any powder, because concealers crease. Yes, concealers crease, so you have to blend it one more time before applying any product on it. I'll just dab my beauty blender in like this, then I'll just press it like this on my skin before taking it on. When I'm doing this, I don't just go here, 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 here. I make sure I go like this. Just like this, so that there won't be any demarcation. I don't know if that makes sense. There won't be any harsh lines, or it won't look patchy. That's the word. It won't look patchy. So that's basically what I do. So I just go in and I make sure I press the product into my skin. So let's go ahead and do the same. You can see the difference between this and that. As I said, I don't go this and go here. I just go here and press. I hope that makes sense. Setting my forehead. Doing same. So if we have two setting powder, a lighter one and a bronze one, you can use the lighter one to set the places where you highlighted, and use the darker one to set your entire face. So I'm just using the excess product on my beauty blender and the back of my hand to press that into my smile lines, just like this. Me, for instance, if I want to bake, I go ahead with my with my powder, compact powder, and set the places where I highlighted before applying my setting powder before baking, if that makes sense. And that works if you have super oily skin like me. I know this video will be long because I'll be talking forever. So to set my entire face, I'll be using that same powder to set my entire face. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm using my brush, and I'll make sure I just do this and sometimes while applying your contour, you see that your nose will not be looking snatched as you want. So to make it look snatched, you have to use, I use this, is it edge or edges, to kind of snatch it. Snatch it like this. Like this. I'm sorry I'm not baking, but I'm just trying to press more powder into my skin as well as my smile lines, because guys, I have super oily skin, and I know I'm not alone. I have family who also have super oily skin. So I'm doing this for you, my super oily skin people. And if you don't have oily skin, you can actually skip all this baking, and you can actually set but don't bake. Yes, so to set the places where I contoured, I'll be using my grandmother's contour, which is the Nikak Dual contour. Don't worry, it's not for my grandmother, it's for me, but it's looking old. This is how it's looking. I'll go ahead and use that to set the places where I contoured. But I'm using this small brush here for that. The reason why I have been skipping this video is I want it to be detailed, and I just don't want how do you call it, I don't like longer videos, super longer videos. But I'm like, no, let me just be me, let me do what I love. Your contour is not looking chill, so don't worry, come to that. As I was saying, I don't like videos that are not detailed. I don't like videos that are not detailed. So that's why I've been dodging this video, and I don't want to do it as a voiceover, which will not be detailed enough for me. The way I love it, I want it to be detailed enough. As I'm applying the product, I'll be explaining what I'm doing to you guys. I know voiceover is also not bad, but I love doing talk through when I'm doing something like this. My nose contouring. And with this, I make sure I will be precise. I won't go where the powder, I apply the powder. I'll just be precise. I'll just be precise, that makes sense. So to kind of shape your cheekbones, I'll be going back with the powder I used earlier on to do some reverse contouring. That will help me get that chisel. And I'll be applying it from my ears like this, my ear. You can actually extend it to this side. You see that? I'm looking like sorry, I have to set this side. So this is basically how I do my contour and highlight. When applying my nose highlighter, I go ahead, sometimes I use a brush, but most at times I use my finger, my small finger, and just use a little amount like this, and put it on the tip of my nose. Just like this, and bring it in the center here. So you can see the harsh lines here. I'll go back with my brush and blend that. I'll just use this side. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the rest of my face and I'll come back. Okay guys, this is our final look. I hope you learned one or two things from this video, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe down below, and remember to click on notification bell as well to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So until we meet again, stay blessed, stay safe, bye.